Facebook is rolling now.
Are we Facebooking?
I got this new phone, and I'm trying to be efficient here. You know, feel free to use this time to share.
Facebook
is
going.
if you want. You know, maybe usually the artists share after.
Facebook is going.
Facebook is going. I better load it up here.
Something is showing where we are.
But yeah, feel free to lay a few ambient chords in this background.
Oh yeah.
Because all I want to do
We got
is
30 seconds.
I got this new phone. I'm trying to be efficient here.
Which one? Who's up? Is that you, Mike? Turn your volume down.
Sorry, I know.
Mike needs to turn his volume down.
No, I don't.
It's TheoryThursday. Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, and you all know what that means.
Well, hello there. Are you ready? You ready, Ben?
Ready.
Yes, baby. Here it goes. got the resolve on the 3 on the bass note.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm MikeRuggirello, your host of Theory Thursday. Say what is up to my esteemed, most handsome co-host, Jason Thomas.
Everybody. Thank you for watching. Would like to thank our sponsors, Singular Sound Beat Buddy, Kurt Mang and Strings, Guitar Tune-Up San Diego, and Mad Hatter Guitar Products.
Yeah.
Also, would like to thank Mr. Dave Wright, our Cthulhu-in-Chief here at SWR Video Productions. Also, hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you can, and go to our Patreon account and sign up for that. Help us out. Give us a little bit of love there. And go to our website, TheoryThursday.com. And I think that's all of my... Oh, and iconic guitars. How could I forget? It was a Taylor show. Iconic guitars as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good?
I think I almost blew my legal obligations, but you saved me there, so I appreciate it.
Yes, well, that's my job. So thank you for tuning in. And what day is it again?
It's Thursday.
It is Thursday. So hey, what is up, everyone? We have a very cool show, a very exciting show. I've been anticipating it for a long time. He is an awesome performer, teacher, and pedal endorser of Chase Bliss, Poly Express, and the big mighty Ernie Ball, Mr. Ben Zinn.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, baby.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for the good welcome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You are welcome. We've been friends for the better part of 3-4 years now.
Yeah, 3-4 years, absolutely.
I was thinking about earlier today how we met.
Yeah.
And it was at the Black Sabbath undercover.
Yeah.
And I showed up at rehearsal. You, me, and Jake. You know
Yep.
how we do.
And Pete?
And Pete.
Yep.
Yeah, that band. That was cool. And then you and I were outside. I was smoking cigarettes then, and then I think you bummed a smoke off me, and that's where you and I were. That's when we met. We met in the front, outside the office.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, a few years ago. That was a good time. I think it was like an open jam thing, and we just both happened to be...
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought I met you at rehearsal.
No, my memory, and of course it could be a little fuzzy, but my memory is that we met ahead of one of those jam sessions that I think Jake and Lauren were putting on. And then later down the line, we did some stuff with the undercover of the Black Sabbath.
Your memory...
At least that's my timeline. Maybe that's incorrect. I don't know.
That's probably correct.
He is correct.
I would say you're probably
Ben Zinn
more,
is
more
correct.
closely to be correct.
And weeks later is when we did the Black Sabbath situation. So anyhow, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's hard to believe it's been 3 or 4 years. Time keeps rolling on, but yeah, here we are, man. This is a really dope show that you have happening here. I've been checking it out when I can, and really happy to be here.
That's very cool of you to say. You know, we have a lot of respect for you. You are in San Diego. You're one of our number one. I guess they call it a. I was rehearsing this earlier. Now I'm blowing it as I do. You are what they like to say in L.A. when people are looking to hire a guitar player. You're on the. You're a class, not A, but the number one guitar player. The. God darn it, Jason. It's just a silly phrase. Yeah, the A-list. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. So Ben Zinn is basically an A-list guitar player here in San Diego. If you are having a very serious gig, like if you wrote an album and you need to hire this guy, or if you're doing a Soundgarden gig, or if you're doing Danzig or Van Halen or Iron Maiden or whatever it is, it's on the freaking menu.
I didn't know about all that. I didn't know about all that.
I've seen you play almost all of that. You didn't do the Iron Maiden gig, but my point is that this right here, he is a very competent and very prolific. That's what I wanted to say. Very competent and prolific.
Well, thanks for saying that. There's a lot of great guitar players in this town. I'm just happy to be out there, you know, throwing in my 2 cents here and there when I can. So happy to be busy doing what I do. Just be part of the scene, man. It's a lot of great musicians in this town, and just grateful to be working with some of them.
That's very cool. What is going on with this guitar, man?
335, man. I've had this thing for a little over a year, and it's kind of become my go-to. I was a Les Paul guy for a long time. Les Paul and Telly pretty much was my go-to, and still love those guitars, but I picked this up a little over a year and a half ago, and I'm just really digging it, man. It's just kind of become the number one choice.
Really sounded fantastic on our first opening jam, that first or second lead. Just hearing some bebop or some leading tones, or, you know, just a lick like this.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you show our audience a little of that tone of the guitar all by yourself, man?
Yeah, of course, man. So I love the 335 because you can play lead and rhythm in kind of any of the pickup positions. It's not, you're not pigeonholed by them, but.
Yeah.
Neck pickup in between. And then treble for the bite.
Wonderful presentation.
Yeah, so
Ain't he good, ladies and gentlemen? God, let's clue in the audience a little bit how well we know each other. Ben and I do, besides from doing gigs and hanging out on guitar shows, you and I have a unique reputation in the guitar teaching world, and I'm going to take me out of the equation, but doing demos, doing pedal demos, right? And also, again, teaching. We're going to touch on both, but I wanted to talk about making videos.
Sure.
Doing a video for a company. I want to get inside your head a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't just tell me something about it. Your most recent one.
Yeah, well, we both kind of worked with some of the same folks who do videos that they produce lesson videos and have them through a website. I've been doing a lot of work for David Taub at Next Level Guitar. I've been partnered up with him for several years. It was one of the first good gigs or jobs that I landed when I moved to San Diego, and yeah, I learned so much about teaching, as I'm sure you have doing this show, just how you present things for more than one person at a time. We both teach individual lessons one-on-one, and it seems to me like the presentation is different when you're in a one-on-one session versus when you're broadcasting out to several people like we are right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
there are some parallels, of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still guitar, and you're still trying to pass along information that you've acquired and share it, and be a resource for people. But yeah, the medium of being on camera, I think, forces you to re-evaluate your process a little bit and think about how can you demonstrate and explain something so that it's going to land for everybody, no matter where they're at on their journey of playing guitar, right? Because I might connect with a guitar student in one way, and we might have a rapport or a couple of inside jokes, and those inside jokes or that history that I have with that student may not necessarily work with the next person. And so I think, doing the online lesson thing where you're doing pre-recorded videos, or in this case, talking about lessons in a live situation.
What website is that you're speaking
Oh,
of?
sure, nextlevelguitar.com. Nextlevelguitar.com.
And you, I imagine, have a good 20, 30, 50. Like, hey, this is how you play Black Sabbath, man. Are you teaching songs?
Yeah,
or
some songs, but it's actually the kind of the spirit of the lessons that we did there was more like, let's think about how do we get inside Tony Iommi's thought process.
Oh,
or,
okay. More,
like in the style of, or that kind of thing.
And then you're talking about gear too.
Yeah, a little bit about gear, how to dial in tone. It's not all one formula for everything, but yeah, it's just kind of like a quick, 10-minute guitar lesson. When people are tooling around on YouTube or whatever, a lot of times the longer form half-hour, 60-minute lessons that you might do in person, I don't think they play as well. So it's kind of just like you get the information out to people in a concise way, and then if they want to rewind, they can, right? So
that's cool.
Those are just some of the things that I noticed, the difference between teaching in person versus, doing a pre-recorded video or DVDs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you did some of those as well, right? With a guy that I connected you with, right?
Yes.
Like you did some.
I think you can almost tell that I'm being a little bit evasive because, due to the style of being live right now and, dropping certain names and certain companies.
Yeah. But you have experience in that realm, doing the pre-recorded
Thanks to
lesson.
you.
Yeah, right.
So I guess we'll just drop the pants here. Marty Schwartz, ladies and gentlemen, very popular and prolific guitar teacher. I think it's safe to say that he's the world's most recognized guitar teacher on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
And there was a difference happening in 2015 or 16, and I got a call from you on December 23rd. It was like perfect timing, right before Christmas, to say, hey man, can you go cover these lessons? And that was a great experience for me. To be very honest with you, Ben, this Theory Thursday, doing this production with Dave and Jason, is a culmination of that experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As a result of?
It's the result of. Yeah, thank you, Jason. And feel free to chime in the comments. And Dave, Jason, Ben, I empower all of you to help me stay in context. But yes, that was a very a very interesting thing. It taught me a lot about myself. I also had a unique privilege of like I actually modeled myself after you, to be very honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, seeing your hat, and like he wanted me to pull my hair back and wear a beret.
Yeah.
So we did about 25 videos
Sure.
like that, and we only released 3, and those 3 kind of got me going in the YouTube world.
Totally.
And I thank you for that, my brother.
Of course, man. I mean, we're all
very
helping each other out, and thanks for having me on the show. I mean, that's kind of what we do, right? We help each other out.
That's what we do. We help each other out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Theory Thursday. I'm feeling frisky, not as frisky as as last week.
Let's say hi to Jeff.
Let's say hi to Jeff.
Let's go to Jeff Cam. There
Wow,
he is.
look at that. Yeah. So that right there is number Funk 4. And
like I say, we've decided that we're just gonna wing it as we go with the music portion of this week.
Well, now that we've landed in this little segment of the show, Jason, why don't we talk about giving away this Beat Buddy?
Yeah. Well, yes. For those of you that don't know, we are going to give away a Beat Buddy this week. Everyone that since the slight miscommunication last week of our giveaway, we're going to honor the fact that we're going to give one away this week. So I've got everybody's names that were watching last week that actually answered the question or did what they were supposed to do in that section. So we're going to be doing that toward the end of the show, where we're going to actually read off the names. And also want to remind people that anybody that actually joins the Patreon is automatically entered into the drawing. So if anyone else get there, the Patreon is in the top of the link in the header. So if you do that, you're automatically entered into it, so you have time. For those of you that know who you are watching the show, I see Darian is here, and Jerry, and a few other people. So you guys are already automatically in the running, so just so you know. But I think it is
music time. Here we go. Let's take a little rock vibe.
All right.
Let's do some rock and roll, right?
Let's do it.
What key?
We're going to leave it up to Ben, Jason.
Okay.
This is the nice part of listening to a slow, big, beefy. Is that almost like tribal? It's almost... Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Heavy toms.
And then when we go to the other beat, it's going to sound like this. So we can like rock into like a certain beat.
Sure.
But right here, this always feels good for the ear, A or E, I don't care.
Man, I was thinking A.
Let's go A.
Good guitar key.
After you, my brother.
Go A. Get a riff going.
Was fun.
Good times.
Rock and roll, baby. Do you like that, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like a 176 in the key of A minor. That's right, baby.
Don't mess with the classics.
Oh, was that A minor?
I went like this. I went. He's like.
Too much rocking.
Too much rocking, knocking it out of tune.
Knocking it out of tune.
Yes. I have a SG does the same thing.
Well, those kind of semi-flat notes are kind of a signature of mine. That's
Yeah.
kind of
That's
part
how
of my
it-
sound.
It's good though. I like that.
Yeah.
It works good.
Slightly out of
kinda
tune.
bend 'em
Keep
up.
them guessing.
Yeah. You know, it works. Works for me.
Rock and roll.
This amp sounds good, man.
The next groove is going to be jazz. I think we're going to
roll jazz?
We're going to
Okay.
do some jazz tonight.
Got some work.
Uh-oh.
So
You get lost.
the next area of our show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Ben's pedals. And boy, oh boy, you got a very lovely little pedal board down here.
Thank you.
You have the, I guess, going in. What's our signal path here?
So it's just right to left. So it's pretty straightforward. The micro synth, warp vinyl, small sound, big sound mini, and then the Earthquaker Avalanche run.
Exciting, very exciting.
Yeah.
Let's start with this micro synthesizer here.
Sure.
That's
That is the classic. That is the
you know,
OG
Yeah, we were
one,
just
too.
talking
Yeah,
about that.
we were
You have
talking
one of
about-
those too.
Yeah, I have the actual OG bass synthesizer like that. The
Yeah.
old 15, 20 years ago kind of ones.
Yeah, probably same
Yeah, same
release era as,
Looks
as
like-
this one.
Yeah.
you're using it very modestly.
Well, you know, it's nice to have just a little bit of there's a lot of weird stuff you can do with this. At the basic level, you can just treat it as an octave pedal.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
But you know, people say they can't hear the difference between the digital pitch shifting things and the analog, but I can just the tracking of it.
I can. The
Yeah.
tracking for sure.
Is
It's,
it more
it's
of a-
something with the tracking.
Yeah.
It's,
I
you
mean-
don't hear that little extra.
That little bit of delay
Yeah.
or kind of like digital high-endy
Yeah, there's a
stuff.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you
there?
can do, you know, octave down, you can do an octave up, so you can kind of get into a little bit of the Octavia kind of territory with that.
Let's hear it. That is killer.
yeah.
And it's got a square wave,
Yeah.
little fuzzy kind of thing that you can add to the signal. Here's without
So it's
the
almost like a
overdrive.
fuzz too.
Yeah, it's got
Adds fuzz.
a little quiet, but yeah, you can get a little bit of fuzz.
I really like how you're showing us each fader, Ben.
That's how you work it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun
I
of
also
this
like
thing.
what I like to do too on that one is to roll up the attack and then put the guitar up, and so it's kind of like a
It's like a swell.
swell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a volume swell. So you can do like certain leads. You crank the distortion. Sounds so rad.
Yeah, you can do just like it's without having the volume pedal. You got one, right?
Yeah. That's
Wow, that's sweet, dude.
yeah.
It's fun.
So we're talking.
What's rad? Yeah. it's
We've
good.
got fuzz. We've got volume swelling.
Yeah, you also have like a
Kind of an
resonance.
envelope-y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
envelope. You can run on the back end of those last four knobs. You can get it to resonate, and you can get that. That's where you get the synth. You mix in the square wave with the resonation, and that's when you get like that.
See, it sounds like
party.
a cooking show now.
It is.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
I think that's exactly what it is. Your recipes. And that's why I like those pedals, because you have unlimited, like
Look at the can of worms. we have.
carte
He
blanche.
loves
I love
these.
that.
Well, we've bonded over
Yeah.
our love for the
Yeah,
microsynth.
of the
I mean,
microsynth. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's one of my go-tos. Always having that in my.
it's not very micro, especially on this tiny
No.
pedal board, but
I love
yeah,
it.
it's cool, man. I mean, there's a lot you can do with it. It's kind of like, you know, if you're setting up a small pedal board, you might put a wah or something in the front of it. It's basically the same concept, just with more bells and whistles. You know,
Yeah.
just more filtering, basically, at the beginning of the chain.
Tone
Is
shaping.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Strong phrase there, Jason. Tone shaping.
Shaping. We like to
So-
shape.
Speaking of shaping, I see some other bands on the right side here that are missing their little white guy, and now that if my eyes are working, it says stop frequency and rate.
Yeah, so that's like the envelope, controls the envelope. So you can control the, you can
Wow,
basically
it's
make it,
pretty quiet.
let's get this going here. Sometimes these end up a little more subtle.
There you go.
So you
Yeah,
can kind
that-
of hear it open up from like a low frequency to a higher frequency. And so, or you can go vice versa and have it start at a higher frequency.
Yeah, that's,
Ooh.
that's my favorite.
I recognize that.
Sure you do.
Would you please improvise a little bit for our audience with that tone over? I'm gonna put a cool, funky beat on for you, Ben. Just go to town a little
like
bit,
it.
brother. Go to town, my
Yeah.
man.
You got it, man.
We got Mr.
That's one of my favorite
All I want to
sounds.
do is wait. All I want to do is what? Is a zoom,
Zim,
zoom,
zim,
zoom, and then a
zim,
zin,
Zin,
zin.
zin, zin.
I was, God darn, I was trying to make a fun catchphrase out of that, but I failed. So let's hear
That's
that
usually
tone.
what happens.
Let's do it.
Where's my beat
Yeah,
at?
I love it. That's
All right. My fault.
Here you go. Watch this. Something greasy, baby.
Greasy Spoon G. Yeah.
whoa, that's funky.
Sorry.
Like the Belle Biv DeVoe beat.
Here's the vintage Ludwig. Let's hear some of
Okay.
this micro synth. Oh my God, we got Ben Zinn just dropping the rhymes. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Italian. That was rad.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
think we all got a piece of that pie. Man, that just for posterity, brother. Let me hear that tone all about self.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's how you were getting down on that whole jam?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. What's great about this thing is I'm sure you can attest to, is like it's a little bit unpredictable and it's got like a gate in it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'll like choke on itself and do all this like really random glitchy stuff. So it's kind of like you have to fight the pedal a little bit, but that's kind of part of the fun.
Part of the charm.
You know, I like that has to happen in rock and roll and jamming in environments, because I just by nature, and you know, you and I talk about this often, I think even when we go play, we have a lot of gear, there's a lot of things to turn and mess with, but the fact that maybe a guitar will fight you, or maybe a pedal will fight you, the fact that psychologically what that's doing to the artist, sharing that in a live situation, it's beauty. It's all it is.
That's actually why I actually play barefoot sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can actually adjust those.
Adjust the
things.
sliders?
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
good luck. My fat toe would not.
Yeah,
get
you
in
get
there.
the toe in there, just kind of. Sometimes because there's like two things on there, like the first the knob, the first I think there's two on the first one and the last one controls your like touch.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so like sometimes I have to just bring that down a little bit, you know, just because it's going berserk on you, you know, and you're playing.
On the sensitivity, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun though. I enjoy that one.
It's super fun to run other, you know, synths or like loops through it and just manually manipulate, like for recording and stuff.
Yeah, man.
It's a fun toy for sure.
Yeah, I like setting that up with synths and stuff. Yeah.
So to continue
going on the list?
through this pedal board, Ben, you endorse Chase Bliss Audio, and it looks like you have their second version of the Warp vinyl on there.
I do, yeah, and I have on my other board, I have the latest one that they rolled out, the Hi-Fi. So I dig. It's the only pedal I've had two of. I dig it so much that it's on both my boards for sure.
Rock and roll, brother.
yeah.
I love the way that pedal sounds. There's obviously a lot of sounds. Can you please show our audience a good 2 or 3?
Yeah, absolutely. So at its heart, it's a vibrato and chorus pedal. So it does that, and it's an analog thing. So
Oh my
it's
gosh,
really pretty,
Jason.
you know, 80s
Yeah,
kind of vibes. So you can kind of get into Leslie territory too a little bit, depending on how you set it up. But what's great about these things is with all the dip switches, you can set any of the parameters to automate.
Would you mind pointing? So
Yeah, of course.
those dip switches right there.
So right down there, you can engage those and turn those on
Very
and off.
intelligent pedal there.
Yeah, the guys who make this, Joel at Chase Bliss, he's just genius. I mean, I'd never seen this kind of control out of analog pedals before, and it's just, it goes so far down the rabbit hole what you can do with these things.
I mean, honestly, that's the kind of quality right there and the kind of philosophy where when it's coming out of this little Friedman that you're playing, that sounds like you turned this rig into a turntable. There is a needle aspect happening in your tone.
Sure. Yeah, it's great, but you can set up any of the parameters to automate. So one of the obviously practical sounds that you can get out of that is just to automate the volume up and down. So basically,
cool.
you're telling it to do this, right? So and that just creates tremolo.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. That sounds like it's got lungs, dude.
Yeah, totally. And then just the tip of the iceberg of the more experimental stuff, I have this other patch set up to be like a momentary vibrato. So just when I engage it, it vibratos, and then when I'm off, it's off. So that's really useful for like keyboardy kind of sounds. You know, it's almost like a pitch wheel kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that expression? Do you have control on maybe the when it starts vibratoing? Like
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can set it to delay a little bit so it starts
sooner or
yeah, or it's
later.
you know, more subtle or more extreme. So yeah, basically
Very
with those,
sexy sounding pedal.
it's just up to your imagination. You know, you can kind of get as crazy as you want.
I like the new blue knobs too. Very thoughtful, nice color coding there.
First two pedals in the chain have an unlimited amount of expansion.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Like you can like create all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so this is my small
It's your
pedal
small-
board. Yeah,
yeah.
right, exactly. But there's still
Yeah,
enough to keep you busy.
We got a lot in common there.
You're a big. I mean, his big board, Jason. It's got freaking Strymons in there. There's
Yeah.
Eventides, Even or Evan.
Evan.
Both, why not?
Even.
Is-
Evan and even.
Is Evan ever Jeez.
Even? Eventide? Is it Evan? Even?
Is ever?
Yeah, and when it's
Dude,
when it's even.
I got stuck again. Should I try this for the
yeah,
hat trick?
you should go for it.
You should just go.
Does-
Third time's a charm.
Evan ever get even? Say that 10 times fast, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, even the spelling. Yeah.
Depends on how the tide is, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ben, continue, my brother.
Even.
Yeah, you got it.
You can go from the warp vinyl into this other awesome. I've never even seen this black or green pedal. What is that, dude?
Yeah, so it's just overdrive, so it's a little more maybe straightforward, but there's still some tricks to that one. It's small sound, big sound, and it's a pretty, it does what overdrive does, but it has a voltage starve or a sag, so
Ah, yes.
if you do that,
This is what it sounds like on 8 volts.
you can get a little fuzzy with it. Sounds like the pedal's dying, that kind of vibe. And then when you open that back up, it's more like normal headroom.
There you go.
So yeah, overdrive, we're all familiar.
And another favorite company of mine, right next door, last but not least, you have an Earthquaker device, the
Yeah.
Avalanche. I know my good buddy Chris loves that pedal a lot.
Yeah, delay and verb, so and there's a lot of different ways that you can set that up. We don't need to be in tune to demo pedals.
Well, you're good.
Yeah, no, we have the ability to tune. We just,
We just
not
choose
entirely
not to.
necessary, right?
Not necessary.
So you can set this up as a just, kind of subtle reverb. Or you've got a digital
Nice.
delay with tap tempo. Or you've got
Oh yeah.
reverse delay.
Can we hear a little bit more of that? I
Yeah,
love
of
that.
course.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Zinn, San Diego guitar player, competent and prolific. Yes, that is right.
It's got all kinds of tricks on it too, like if you
Yeah,
hold
sounds
that, it'll
sick.
go back to forward instead of reverse, and
Very cinematic, man. That's the beautiful thing about these great new pedals, Ben. You're obviously a guru and very focused and into it, and you know what you're doing. You make wise decisions. You also decide to represent certain companies just like I do. The fact that it creates contingency in our sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these devices, they are really about sounding cinematic. You spend a couple $100, $300, put it in your line or put it in your loop, and you go play a gig live, and your audience, don't be surprised if they're buying you chicken tenders and a beer. They love what you're playing for them.
get this man some tenders.
Ah,
Love this tone.
Chicken fingers.
Kind of sauce.
I'm gonna run a train on them chicken fingers.
Get some chicken fingers.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
Dude, that is amazing. This is so cool. I love that 4 pedals can do all of that. I mean, I'm thinking, in a way that jam with your friends and creatively and improvise and have some great tones, or go play a Who set, brother. I mean, this can do it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
you
mean-
could play a Prince set, you could do a Who set. You could probably do a 9-inch nails. Well, you need a couple, you might need to use amp distortion. So if this pedal was in front of like a big amp with
Yeah.
fat distortion, you could do the 9-inch nails rig. That's my point. Just like Jason was saying, I think we are aroused. As far as guitar tone, let's keep the focus and context on the pedals, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, quite.
So, speaking of pedals, I thought it would be a fantastic segue to give away the Beat Buddy.
Is this the
Yeah,
Beat Buddy
it's
giveaway?
Beat Buddy time, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right.
what
all
are
right.
these rules, Jason?
Well, the rules are basically just we're just going to do a basically redo from last week. So everybody, and those of you that are watching, I see a couple of you are in here right now. It's okay. If your name is called, you win the Beat Buddy. If you're not watching, you have until Sunday at 8 p.m. to actually chime in with us, watch the show, because I know people watch it after it goes live. If you are here, well, good luck. And also, I'm also going to draw a second person, just in case that person doesn't contact us. And there's two people that are basically at the.
And speaking of contacting us, we have
until Sunday. This coming Sunday. That would be what would the date be?
22nd today.
5th. The 25th.
The 25th. Yeah. So Sunday, 20 April. What are we at? March.
You sound like me.
I know. This week I sound like you know. Yeah, March 25th, Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. So we'll get that going. So, do you want to do it right now?
Let's do it right now. Let's give the sucker away, baby.
Let Ben tune up. Okay, so everybody. So if you're watching, we need a hat. We need a hat. We need a hat. We need the hat.
Remember the
Hat. Yes.
Hat.
So this is everybody. This is everybody that is in the running this week. Plus our wonderful patrons are in here too. So I'm just gonna name out everybody that typed in the answer or ones that I took. So basically everybody that answered last week. So we've got James Steele. James.
Yeah.
We've got Dewsbury Raw. He was in last week with the Taylor Show. Jerry Burns, I see you're in there, Jerry. I'm hoping you get this. Sherry, I see Sherry in there. One of our patrons. Hopefully you get this too. Sherry Gilmore. Donna Hall Cater. Alex Fledger. Cesar L. Chicharo Santos. There you go. Mr. Don Brandt, always one of our patrons and always in there. Hi, Don. I see you're in there. Leon Bishop. Jeff Sullivan. Pat Evans. I'll go with my radio announcer. Steven Segura. There you go. Mr. Darian, I see you in there. I see you're here. Hopefully you in there, Mr. Darian High. Clyde Brown. Kevin L. Gibbs. Connor O'Leary. And, okay. Oh, we lost somebody. Yes. Oop, I lost the whole bag. That's me and Mike. Kind of feel like I should be playing bass right now.
You were the hat master.
I am not the hat master. All right, who's gonna pull this?
Ben.
Everybody watching?
Ben, look.
Oh, Ben's gonna pull it.
All right.
Mr. Ben
Zinn,
you get
our hand scrambler.
Give it a little bit. Let's. Who's the lucky
Mr.
winner?
Ben Zinn,
so
the
we're gonna
hand
draw
scrambler.
1 and 2.
Okay.
So
The
winner.
first is Darian Hosh.
Darian
Yeah,
High.
Darian, baby.
Darian, you win the beat, buddy. So I'm pretty
most
sure
deserved.
he's on there. So we don't need to draw a
Ironically,
second.
Darian's a drummer.
Yeah, it might actually come in handy for him. Yeah.
Yeah, Darian.
All right, Darian, where you at? I see you.
He was.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Darian. Just in case. Yeah, just in case, because we said it, just in case Darian doesn't get back to us, we got to pull a second one. So who's the second winner?
The second winner.
Second winner, if Darian does not, he's got it. No way. He's contacted us. It's all right.
Donna Hall Cater.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Darian, you win. You win, buddy. Congratulations.
Mr. Darian. Last name.
Hi.
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 That's right. H-I-G-H. Mr. Darian.
Unless
Hi.
you spin it some other way. There you go. There's Jeff's hat. So congratulations,
Just like
Darian.
we told you before,
One of our
Darian.
loyal listeners.
Welcome to the
It's
Beat
always
Buddy Club.
good if that happens. Yeah. All right. Cool.
That was rad. That didn't take too long.
We made up for our mess up last week, and just so you know, we are we are very fair. If we make a mistake, like you said, we appreciate your feedback. We're trying to grow the show as much as we want, so we need all your feedback, and we really appreciate everybody that gives their opinion, because it lets us know that you care, and we really appreciate it, and we care. We do.
I'm really loving this iconic telly.
It's nice, man.
This thing, it's a very cool thing, and I know that Ben can attest to this. Sometimes when you play a guitar, it's so playable that you do not care what it looks like. Mm-hmm. The neck is so inviting, and the frets are so tall, and it makes you want to play. It inspires you to play. Mm. And then you're like, I don't care what color it is. I don't care what color it is. No, I don't. No. I just want to rock. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And that's what this guitar does to me, man. So, Ben.
She's a beaut.
You digging it?
Yeah, man.
You like how it's all it's already distressed?
Yeah, distressed. My perspective, I got a nice angle on the neck here. It's beautiful, man.
You digging that?
Yeah, it's a cool telly.
Yes, maybe.
When we're done with the show, I want you to try it.
I would love to.
Yeah, great, because this neck, this is the modern, vintage modern line, and what it's meant to look old.
Sure.
But the neck is modern. It's a flatter radius with very tall jumbo frets. So it really makes you want to play, man. I'll show you. Like that. Check out this Jimmy Page lick. You go. Like if we're give me a key 1-4-5. I don't care, any key.
G.
So there's my target note. I go. And this is rad. This is all for y'all. This isn't the guitar lesson segment. This is just a quick lick for y'all. A Jimmy Page lick. He said G. So G is the 1. C is the 4, D is the 5. And what you do, you rip into it like this. Yeah! Do you recognize that Zeppelin lick?
Absolutely, man.
I mean, I'm articulating it maybe on a little bit more on a shred thing, but dude, look at that. Target.
Yeah. Play it for me one more time. Oh, you're double picking some of those notes, yeah?
Certainly. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love all that stuff.
But yeah, that just came to mind.
Right on.
So Ben, what are your plans, bro? You got some plans?
You got some gigs coming up?
No, I think I'm just gonna hang out here. I like it here so much. I think.
So move in.
You mind if I sleep here?
Yeah, it's fine. We got bunk beds back there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, did you change the sheets?
No.
Oh well, we got a washer and dryer too.
That's fine, man. I'll take it as it is. No, man, I'm just keeping busy. I got some gigs this weekend. I'm playing with Johnny Tarr tomorrow at the Riviera Supper Club.
We've seen him play.
Yeah, Johnny's great.
You opened up for him at the Music Box.
Yes.
Yeah. You're playing guitar with him?
Yeah. I play with him occasionally. He's great, man. Just electro,
He's playing guitar
funky.
though, right? Is he doing back to keyboards?
Yeah, I think he's doing. We'll see. I mean, that guy plays everything, right?
Yeah, he's great.
Sax and keys and guitar.
So what happens when he plays guitar? You play guitar, obviously, with him. You're the lead guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does Johnny take leads?
Get in where we fit in. When he takes leads, usually on the sax when he's playing with the band.
Wow, I haven't seen. I guess I haven't seen a Johnny Tarr show for a while.
Yeah.
He didn't play sax at your gig, anyways.
Yeah, man of many talents. So I got that coming up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. And then Sunday at Winston's, I'm playing pedal steel with Rose's Cantina. They're doing
Man,
a
if I
CD
would've
release.
known-
So,
If I would have known that, brother, I would have said bring the pedal steel on the show.
oh man,
That would have been cool.
that would have been cool.
Which one you got?
I have an Emmons Lashley LeGrand steel.
Well, you know what? For your sophomore episode,
Bring
we're
a
gonna
pedal
get it.
steel?
Yeah, why not?
That'd be fun.
Why not?
Absolutely.
And
It's
then you can
always a
hang
why
her, or you can use this telly right behind you. So when we get to the guitar segment, right? And then that'll look pretty trippy. It would be set up the whole time. And what kind of pedals are you using on that?
Typically just a volume pedal.
You're not using any of these glorious...
You know, at home, when I like to get into my little sound world and get a little more experimental, sure. But usually on the gig, I'm playing stuff that's more straightforward Americana, country music. So it's just mostly about reverb and volume swells, playing the pedal steel.
I love that you said reverb. I'm a new fan of reverb myself.
Yeah.
There's so many types of reverbs out there, just like how many types of blues styles out there. Chicago, Delta, Texas, gospel, and Louisiana blues, right? Am I right with that? Am I wrong with that? I'm just trying to
forget about North Dakota.
North Dakota blues. Yeah, that's awesome. But I'm trying to make a point that there's many styles of blues, and there's many. And I digress where I forgot my point.
Sorry.
God,
Sorry, man.
why? What was my point, Ben? What was I talking about?
Oh, just different ways to play steel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is one of those awesome moments where I'm trying to figure out what to say.
Deep thoughts with Mike moment.
Well, reverb. There's so many types of reverbs.
Right.
There's plate reverb, hall reverb, room reverb, wood room reverb. According to this little reverb pedal, there's a wooden room, but plate reverb. What reverb do you like?
Oh, I like all of them, man. You know, on this board, it's more of like a hall, I guess.
On the Avalanche, that's like
Yeah.
a hall reverb.
I think so. But yeah, I dig going down the rabbit hole with some of the other stuff and the different verbs.
It looks like your plate is scotched a little bit over here on the Ernie Ball side.
Probably do have a little bit of that happening too.
Do you want to show our audience real quick maybe the difference between this plate reverb and the hall reverb, just on a chord? So this is why us guitar players can get so much work done with maybe a reverb pedal.
I like plate for like the soul kind of like.
You like that high breath?
Yeah. And then here's the Avalanche. It's a little darker and more dwelly.
Wonderful difference there.
Yeah, so different flavors, different strokes for different folks.
Yes. I love it. Boy, oh boy, here on Theory Thursday, we love reverb. God, we love reverb. Jason, what kind of reverb do you like?
I like the flurb.
The flurb.
The flurb.
Yeah.
The flurb is cool, man.
Ever see the flurb? Flurb's good.
The flurb is on the
electro-harmonics.
Holy
Yeah,
grail.
man.
Yeah.
I still have that pedal. I employ that one.
Everybody needs their reverbs flanged.
Yeah, flange reverb.
I don't really deal with if a reverb is not flanged. I don't really have time.
Yeah, is that no time for flange? Yeah, it actually works really good. We used to another band I'm in, Manganese, so we covered Charlie Don't Surf. The Flash song is just like, I'm like, it's a total.
So does Ryan get to?
That's me. I was doing that.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
With the bass?
Yeah. Well, before I was in there, I played guitar with them. You know, on like the Clash with a. We did actually played. We performed the Sacrilege. We actually, because it was at the Casbah, the Clash thing. You know, and we played Rock the Casbah.
Yes, you rocked the Casbah at the Casbah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. We
Speaking-
actually did like the faux pas of the, but intentionally. You know, it was like we were asked to do it. So
You lost your mic.
that's all right. I'm not saying anything important.
So hey, of course you are. So hey, we're at the tail end of our episode here. We're going to do a quick guitar lesson, and this is from Ben, from us to you. So if you got your guitars, grab them. Ben, what do you got for us?
Yeah, man. So I think I was thinking about this. One of the things that I employ a lot that I think anybody could use in their playing is the idea of looking for landmarks of the triad or chord that you're in and looking at it in this way, right? So let's say I'm playing over a C chord. Instead of thinking about the whole chord, what I really do a lot is I look at it in terms of just the triad, and I look at the inversions going up the neck.
Beautiful. I love that you're on the strings 5, 4, and 6.
Yeah, and I think the whole vibe is
That's right.
If you got that, then you do all of your string sets.
Brilliant.
And so, you know, obviously it gives you a bunch of different ways to play the chord, but even when I'm trying to think about playing melody or soloing over a chord, that's kind of where I start all the time. So if I'm trying to play something over a C chord, I'll use
little support.
Yeah, I'll use those little 3-note nuggets as a launching point for any kind of idea that I have. So I might play. And I'm always thinking about connecting from one of those locations into the next.
So whether it's the G string, B string, or E string, is that a physical target or an interval? Are you thinking intervallically, or are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about playing inside the chord. Like, I want to be able to color inside the line before I color outside of the line. So to me, even before the scale is just the arpeggio note.
That is a really intelligent thought there, Ben. Can you please say that again?
Yeah, sure. So it's like coloring inside the lines before you start coloring outside of the lines. And the analogy is basically, if you're trying to play over a chord, the safest thing that you can do is just play notes of that chord. So my whole like approach to that is knowing everywhere on the neck where I can get the safe spots of that chord. If it's C, you know, and I go up my string sets, and the whole study of it was to get all of those locations down to where I didn't have to think about them. And then from there, I always have a safe place to go, right? I never am scared of anywhere on the fretboard. And then from there, you can, you know, play bluesy stuff.
Arpeggiating in your licks.
Yeah, exactly. Start playing the licks or going away from the chord notes in whatever scale that you want to. You know, that could be major or it could be Lydian. But still, like, those 3 chord notes are your landing spot, or the place to launch you into whatever concepts that you want to do, wherever you want to take it from there.
You always have a way back in.
You always have a way back in.
You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Totally.
It's like yeah.
We've all been playing something, and we're you know, riding the wave, and all of a sudden, like, things start to fall apart, and it's like, how do you recover from that? And for me, it's always, you know, just always have a safe landing spot with some of those arpeggio notes. And you know, arpeggio notes and all that stuff is nothing new, but my whole methodology for that was just to take it in 3-string groupings and do any chord, any 3-string grouping, and always have something to do. And I think no matter what style you play, you can use that instantaneously. You know, it's just building blocks of music kind of stuff.
I love that.
I like it too. Yeah, I'm gonna employ that.
Yeah, it's a good one. I
Sure.
took a lesson from this teacher, and he kind of explained that concept to me, and the lesson was so good that was the only lesson that I took from him.
That was
I'm like,
that's
whoa,
the biggest thing. Yeah.
okay, I can work on that for, like, you know, quite a while.
Yeah.
And I did, and I have. So
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I have the thought you stimulated there is that there's a few people I'm aware of that I care deeply about, and I've only taught them about maybe either 2 to 4 lessons,
Yeah.
and then you never see them again. And then you're like, yeah, I was really passionate describing these concepts to them, and I think maybe that's what happened to them.
sure, yeah. That's kind of the thing. A good teacher can give you something that you can work on. I've had mentors throughout my playing where they've shown me something, and it's like, talk 10, 15 years ago, and I'm still trying to process what they were saying, you know. So those kind of like really impactful things in music that you can work on for quite some time. I live for that stuff, man.
Hear, hear.
It's great.
That's great, Ben. That's
Yeah.
really something. Thank you very much for a very intelligent guitar lesson. I hope you loved it, y'all. We are going to see you next week with Mr. Kyle Merrill of the Brothers Gal, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
You also have something to give to Ben, don't we?
I do. Yes, we do. This is from Mr. Thomas and Dave and me. These are a few gifts that we wanted to give you.
Awesome.
They've been in a
What kind of
plastic
like Oprah?
bag, but it's picks and stickers from the companies that we represent.
Killer.
So there's the little stuff.
Awesome.
These are our
That's
strings. Ladies and gentlemen,
personal.
if you want to purchase and play the strings that Jason and I and our guests get to play, if you're wondering why, wow, They sound so killer when they play. Mike bends notes so easy. It is these strings, guys. The Kirk Mangan.
It's all the strings. It has nothing to do
Have
with
a set of
anything else.
10s, my brother.
Killer, thank
And you
you.
know what? Don't be surprised if those are the ones that you want to be playing for the rest of your life. And then
That might be it. That might be the thing.
here, we picked you out matching underwear, too. So we're hoping that this is your size. And,
Yeah.
Love it.
you know, if you want to wear it as your nightie, send me a text in the morning with your coffee. Like, I got my shirt on, Mike. I'm like,
Rolling
yeah,
your shirt.
baby.
Well,
Right?
I won't have to send you a text because I'm just going to be
Yes,
right up
she's
there.
gonna
Is
be
coffee
sleeping
going to
on
be
the-
ready
yeah,
in the morning?
we'll get
or-
coffee in the morning.
That's awesome. So I thought it would be cool to like do a jazz funky groove.
On the way out?
Let's check the groove real
Okay,
quick.
work on the groove, figure out what you're gonna do. I'll send us out.
Well, little maybe you.
I'll help you out with the groove.
You proof this.
Okay, let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Oh, yeah, a little
Sure.
New Orleans feel.
I like that. Zydeco.
That's
All right.
how you, do you want to close down like that, or you
Hey
want to
man,
throw
I'm
another
up for
fucking beat?
anything. I'll do whatever, man. I'm up for anything.
So I think okay.
I'll just go. Yeah.
Let him have it, Jason.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys for watching. Congratulations, Darian, for
Thanks for
winning the
having me,
Beat
man.
Buddy.
So fun, brother.
Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody's patience with us. Also, like to remind people to hit that Patreon if you're watching. Please help us out. You know, it takes a lot to get this going, and we really appreciate you guys hitting that up. And go to our YouTube channel. Hit like, share, and subscribe on that. Also, our website, like Mike mentioned, you can get our strings. You can get a Beat Buddy at 10% off. If you click the link, type in Theory 10, you get the Beat Buddy 10% off. Also, like to thank our sponsors, Singular Sound Beat Buddy, Iconic Guitars, Mad Hatter Guitar Products, Guitar Tune-Up San Diego, and always Kirk Mangan Strings. Mr. Dave Wright, SWR, Cthulhu in Chief. I'm Jason Thomas. Thank you for watching. Back to you,
All
Mike.
right, time to roll. Let's take these lights off.
Oh, one more thing. We'd like to congratulate former guests, Robin Hinkle and Ariel Levine for winning San Diego Music Award.
I want to congratulate him too.
Yeah, go ahead. We are. Me, by default, by proxy, we are congratulating
But that's
them.
such a special, unique thing. And,
Yeah.
and Ben, myself, Dave, Jason, we all know Ariel and Mr. Robin Hinkle. God bless you guys, man. You kicked ass, brought home some awards. That's right, baby.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
So what key are we doing?
I'm going to do the little, it's like the key of G,
G.
but I'll start off on one. And then the change will be the 2 and the 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
that's it? All right.